Welcome back, welcome back. Thank you for staying tuned. This conversation is all about Bowen and Bowen as they highlight their Made of Belize campaign. And we're joined on set by Martin Guy, brand coordinator over at Bellikin. Also, Mr. Corey Leslie, who's a creative developer over at Bellikin. And Mr. Ernest Garcia, a co-star and Made of Belize Fly Fishing. Mr. Garcia, it's a pleasure to have you.
Gentlemen,
Good
morning.
And talk to the superstar. I see the man in the video.
Well, it's great having you guys here, as always. So this morning we are here to talk about the Made of Belize campaign. I know that there are so many more things on the agenda that you guys are taking on, but let's hone in on that. What is the Made of Belize campaign?
So, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, of course. So, before we talk about the campaign, I'd like to speak about what Made of Belize is, right? So, I know we're probably familiar with the term Made in Belize.
Yes,
right?
actually I thought it was a typo.
Yeah, I know. So
they're
two different things. Well, to us, they're two different things. So, Made in Belize just means it's produced here. There's an array of things that are produced in Belize, right? There's sugar, of course, there's Bellikin, and that's just to name a few. But Made of Belize to us means more so what you're made from, right? So the Belizean people, our cultural DNA, right? Our attitudes, our attributes, our characteristics, right? So Made of Belize refers to that. And when we think about the cultural DNA for Belize, we think about things like being unique, being authentic, being proud, right? And what we did with the campaigner for us, we tried to hone in on those characteristics and bring those to life through our videos, right? And then now in terms of the campaign itself, so it's an array of videos that we take those characteristics and we find everyday activities that are culturally relevant to Belize, right? So it's a part of our heritage. So the Made of Belize campaign is a series of videos that highlights those things.
Corey, talk a bit about the creative process.
Right. So Made of Belize is an extremely exciting campaign to create on the back end. A lot of work goes into it. This is season 2 of Made of Belize. So in 2022, that's when the whole idea originally launched. There were 6 episodes, if you will, in that season that included Creole drum making, carnival, rice and beans, artisanal fishing.
How do you top that?
Right, good question. That was the head scratcher for season 2. But we just dove deeper into authentic experiences that aren't necessarily too common outside of the borders of Belize. These are activities that are hosted by Belizeans, orchestrated by Belizeans. Some of them are Belizean ideas that came to fruition and became something of a staple in terms of what we do here. So it was a tough project to try and top season 1, but I think we did a good job at least maintaining the standard that we created in the first season.
The obvious question is, how did we get Mr. Garcia involved? Fly fishing is big here in the country as well, but what made you guys decide on including that as an aspect of what is Made of Belize?
That's a really good question. Fly fishing is something that is huge tourist attraction, and there would be no better person to describe that more than Ernest, right? But for us, the whole process of knowing that our fly guides, the ones who take the tours out, they're all Belizeans. They know the sport, they know the waters, and they know the rules and regulations of the sport. So people come and, to be quite frank, they spend a good deal of money to do fly fishing. It's a leisure sport. So while the everyday Belizean may not engage in fly fishing regularly, it's still Belizean led, and it's still something that is very, very proud to Belize.
So, Mr. Garcia, let's get you into the conversation. Give us a bit about your background and your history in fly fishing, and how this for you ties into being Made of Belize.
Okay, well, thanks again. Good morning, guys. Well, I was born and raised in Placentia Village, and growing up, everybody used to fish. So Placentia is just, just a family fishing village at first, right? And then as a child, I got more into more commercial fishing, just to make income and that sort of stuff. But as time went on, you kind of find that there's a lot of pressure on the marine fishery. So when tourism started, then I got more into sport fishing, which helps protect the environment, you know, and takes the pressure off the marine fishery. And it's something that is more beneficial to the country as well because of the fact that you're not really killing everything that you catch. You know, you catch and release, and that is, you know, sustaining the environment and making this last for a long time.
What was the most interesting part for you about being a part of this video shoot and then seeing the final product?
Man, when these guys called me up and asked me if I wanted to be a part of the project, I said, hey, of course, please. And the whole team, man, it was a great experience working with the team, shooting the video.
You know the final product, your thoughts on it?
Yes.
Stamp of approval?
Oh, of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things I think is really cool about what you guys do over at Belican with these various campaigns, when we think of Made in Belize and even Made of Belize, it's the way that you try to give that stamp of sustainability and everything too. When we think of fly fishing, when we think of culture, when we think of music, and anything that involves Belize, there's this idea that there's preservation of our cultural identity, and that's really captured and almost like stored away as part of history too, because we can go back and we can look at all of these campaigns and these videos online and see all these persons who are heavily involved in their communities or embraced one way or another in a particular time here in Belize. I think that's really, really cool and really interesting, and it also highlights Belize in its own unique way. I want to get into some of the other videos and other ways that we will see Belize be highlighted. What are some of the other videos coming up?
So we have 4 videos slated for season 2 of Made of Belize. Fly fishing was the first, of course. I almost do not want to give away the themes of the other episodes just because it's something that we're trying to build anticipation around and awareness on. Just it's something that everyone can be proud of. So definitely fly fishing is one of our major highlights, but we do continue on this exciting narrative of telling Belizean stories. So all I want to say is we're on social media. Belican has a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a YouTube channel. All the videos from season 1 are there, and of course season 2 will be up there as they come out, because
So
it's
I'm
just
trying to
the
think
beginning.
what the other campaign will be.
There's so much, Sabrina. I won't even go down a rabbit
Made
hole.
with Belize.
Go ahead.
So the campaign is, well, it remains Made of Belize, right? But a fun fact about season 2 is that every video featured was an idea that was submitted from Belizeans. So
that's nice.
So what we did was last year during Belican Bash, we did a hero video with all the videos from season 1, right? And then we basically told the public that we want to do season 2 and that we're accepting submissions for video ideas. So all the videos from season 2 will be from the public, and of course they're culturally authentic experiences, right? These ones perhaps would be a bit more niche than season 1, right? But I think they're just as amazing, and they're just as authentic as the ones before.
From a technical standpoint, what I appreciate is the quality of production. I trust me, it's amazing to watch, especially when you have the screen or the resolution on your screen that could depict it. So it's the quality of the video and the quality of the productions, the shots, the transition. Who's behind all of that?
I love that you asked that question, and it does bear mentioning that our entire video production team is all Belizean as well. So you're really seeing talent, homegrown talent in these videos. It's a lot of orchestrating. We had at least 3 to 4 sets of videographers that we had to contract to get this production done. They work with us on almost all our production projects, and they're the best of the best. This one shows the cinematic quality of what they can do, down to the music composition. And the granular details, you take it for granted, but when you're working on it, the moving parts. I mean, we finished filming this last year, and we're only now presenting it to the public because all the pieces have finally fit together. So our video team, completely local, they know what they're doing. They have decades of experience among all themselves. So really cool team to work with.
I love that, Mr. Garcia. So do you have a company that you work with or you work for?
Yes, I work for Tarpon Key Lodge, fly fishing destination, just 14 miles off the coast of Placencia.
How do people go about seeking your services?
Well, it's everything is booked online, so just
It's really catered to, like, your main clientele is tourists, right?
Yes.
If we could
Do
be
Belizeans
honest.
go and try fly fishing? Not really? We need to get Paul. I think we need to volunteer Paul.
Right, to get
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Most of our guests are Americans and Canadians.
Yeah.
Some Europeans as well.
What's the attraction when it comes to fly fishing?
Well, it's mostly the three protected sport fish: permit, tarpon, and bonefish. You know, but we do get clients that target different species as well, because there's a lot of other fish out there that you can have a lot of fun with.
What brings you the greatest joy with doing this job?
Just fishing. Just fishing. You know, I just love fishing. And the best part about it to me is that, you know, we can fish in a way that, you know, we're protecting the ocean.
Yeah,
Fly
the
fishing is the
sustainability.
perfect and best way to do that.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's fantastic. Well, gentlemen, I think this entire conversation captures the essence of Belizean culture in a certain way. And we want to include you guys in a bit of an activity with us called our cultural phrase of the day. And so this morning's cultural phrase of the day is, when trouble catch you, picnic shot fit you. Have you ever heard of that?
When trouble catch your
know
picnic.
Picnic shot fit you.
Creole
Yeah,
proverbs, and I like
Yeah.
one I don't know.
Right.
So I will translate it to English.
I never
When in difficult situations, you have to make adjustments to survive.
No, that's not translation, not the meaning.
Yeah, that's
Guys,
sounds
come
like-
on, guys. We had one job, guys.
We still we need them for guests.
When trouble catches you, children's clothing fits you.
Yes.
After years on. After years
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
So
I love
what would
that.
you say that means to you? Anybody want to
It
take a
just
crack
sounds
at
like you have to adapt to difficult times, really. So, pick the shirt to fit you. That's how I really.
I actually saw it different than that. But
Right.
what did you think, Martin?
No, I mean, I feel like you gave us the definition, but
No. Don't do that.
when
escape.
trouble hits your picnic shirt fits you, right? So I mean, basically, when you're in trouble, I mean, you need to be flexible, you need to adapt, you need to morph,
Yeah.
right? Find different ways or look at it from a different perspective.
Mr. Garcia, you've heard that before?
I've never heard that before, but
Okay.
you knew what I mean right away.
Yeah.
As soon as you said it. I think that, you know, just like one of my friends here said, Martin said, you know, when you run into difficult times or something troubling, instead of forcing a situation, you could always pull back. Don't be, you know, too proud to step back a bit and
No,
take a
I
pause.
think when you're in a tight spot,
Yeah.
you want to get out. So you are fitting a picnic shot if you need to get out of that. But it's quite an interesting one. I've never actually heard this one either, and I use a lot of Creole proverbs.
Same.
But let us know your thoughts on this one. We definitely like it over here. But we got to take another quick break, and when we come back, we have much more conversations to look forward to. Open Your Eyes returns in just a moment.